Hello everyone, welcome to Talkway and Motherhood, where I share my experience as a journey through motherhood. If this is your first time of joining Talkway and Motherhood, you are welcome. You are welcome in the name of the Lord. Welcome, welcome. And if you're already part of my channel, welcome back. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you my experience as it relates to being pregnant and having a chronic illness, with the hopes that it encourages someone out there and if someone who might be experiencing what I'm experiencing, or even something different. So before we get started, let me go into some terminology so that you can understand the story much better. So I'll be talking about an autoimmune disease, specifically Crohn's disease. So what's an autoimmune disease? An autoimmune disease basically is when your immune system is gone haywire. Instead of it's fighting against infection for you, instead it's fighting yourself. It's fighting your system. Depending on the type of autoimmune disease an individual has, that will determine what part of the body is fighting itself. So specifically with Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease whereby the tissues of your gastrointestinal system is being inflamed. And because of that inflammation, you have symptoms such as, an individual who has this will have symptoms such as diarrhea, bloody stool, constipation, bloating, abdominal pain, and this disease could be anywhere from mild to severe, and depending on the severity of the disease or how it's managed, an individual could end up having to take part of their colon out, be hospitalized so frequently, have to use a pouch, and things like that. So it all depends on how the disease progresses with with an individual, or how it's being managed. So then that I've gotten that out of the way, I want to share with you guys my own story. So in 2018 I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. This was shortly after I'd given birth to my first son. So you can imagine what life was like. So with what I already explained and described to you, if you can just close your eyes and think about a day in the life of someone with Crohn's disease, that person is waking up, they have pains. Oh, by the way, this thing can also affect your joints too. So you have pains, you have when you go to the bathroom, pain, when you come out of the bathroom, pain, you don't know what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, you're scared that, oh, if you eat this, what will happen? Or if you go out, you're constantly thinking about what you would eat in the restaurant, or whether you shouldn't eat at the restaurant. What if you ate and then suddenly you need to use the bathroom, and the bathroom is not great, and then suddenly you have this explosion of blood is still all over the place. Just imagine that kind of life. And not just the symptoms, but then the pain that comes with that, physical pain, that is. So having that kind of life for a very long duration of time, it was the kind of life that I had lived, and in my mind I still wanted to be pregnant too. Can you imagine? Well, I still had hopes and desire that I would have another child, because I didn't want my son to be alone. I thought it would be lonely. You know what I mean? I have siblings, I have 3 of them, and I know what it is to have other people in your house other than your parents. It makes a lot of difference in your childhood. Anyways, so in the midst of all the chaos in my health, and also it also affected my mind to a certain level, I still wanted to have another child, and I'd always pray about it. And sometimes I wondered if I was crazy, because you are praying to have another child and you're not doing well. Are you alright? Anyways, and when I spoke with my GI doctor like that, she should always tell me that you have to be well first. A healthy person, increases the chance of a healthier pregnancy. So it wasn't until 2023 ending that the doctor now said, you're good, go ahead, and you can try having another child. It's safer at this point. So I use the word safer because even though it's good now that I could have another child, there's still a chance that I might flare. So with pregnancy, some individuals, how your body decides to respond to you being pregnant it just depends on individuals, right? You don't know what pregnancy would do to your body. Pregnancy, as it were, just without anybody having a chronic illness, does a number to you sometimes, to individuals, So having that new being in your body, as well as dealing with a chronic illness, there's no guarantee that there's not going to be a flare, that the symptoms are not going to come back again, So I had to be closely monitored. She just had to tell me ahead of time that you're going to be a high-risk pregnant person, because we have to closely monitor you to make sure that you're okay and the baby is safe. So fast forward until 2024, sometime in the summer, then I got pregnant. So throughout the whole pregnancy, not once did I flare. I had symptoms here and there, just like very mild symptoms like bloating, constipation sometimes, and things like that. But not once did I have to go into the hospital, be admitted, be checked up, beyond the regular check, to see that something something is going on. We have to take care of this before it gets worse. I didn't have any flu, no issues at all while I was pregnant. And I'm sharing this story just to encourage someone out there who might have a chronic illness and is maybe has lost hope, or feels that this dream of having another child or having a child at all is down the drain. Please don't give up. God is still in the business of miracles. Yes, it's not exactly how I want it to be. I've wanted for complete healing, absolute healing, and all that. It didn't happen that way for me. It didn't happen that way for me all these years, and when it will eventually, I don't know. But one thing I know for sure is that God is with us. He says in His Word that He will never leave, neither will He forsake us. And one thing that kept me was the scripture that says, something like, whether you're through the fires or through the waters, it won't allow the water to drown you, neither will the fire even burn you. So that gave me that assurance that no matter what might come, whatever I experience as I'm going through this journey of pregnancy, that He's there, and He won't allow those things to take me over. But His presence will constantly help me through the process. And in this case, I didn't even have any, symptoms at all. So Christ is with you in spite of your challenges. Key to Him. If you're having chronic illness, looking to get pregnant, check in with your doctor, make sure you're good, and then also check in with God constantly. Alrighty, well, I hope with this story you're encouraged, and if you know someone who might have been experiencing the same thing that you think would gain from this video, share and do subscribe. Till later.